Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So I'm sure you guys will all remember this case. Brought this to your attention a couple times now, done I think at least one or two follow-ups. So there was a Michigan youth pastor and Trump supporter, guy named Zachary Radcliff. He was arrested last year. He was accused of crimes against nearly 12 children. So mostly males, there was one female. All of these kids were members of the church. And when I shared the last update, Radcliffe had been charged with 33 crimes. So he is due to stand trial soon. And the judge just added a ton of new charges. Unfortunately, they had to drop three others, but I'll explain that. So here's what's going on. There was a hearing held this week. 8 men and 1 boy testified against Radcliffe. And I should explain why they're men. It's because these crimes date back to 2011. So many of these alleged victims are now young adults. The witnesses ranged in age from 17 to 24. So MLive news outlet reported that supporters of the alleged victims, like friends and family, were there, and they could be heard crying in the court as they were testifying. So several said that Radcliffe had sent them unsolicited videos to them, but of Radcliffe doing stuff to himself. I'll just put it that way so I don't get censored on YouTube. But Radcliffe would refer to these videos as, quote, silly videos that are a joke to each other. And one witness testified that he was assaulted at least 15 times by Radcliffe. And Radcliffe may have used church funds to pay some of these alleged victims. So one witness said that Radcliffe, when he was with him, used a church credit card to make a purchase for items that he gave to another alleged victim. And the judge referred to Radcliffe in this hearing as, quote, one of the most egregious predators that he had ever seen. And the judge praised the alleged victims. He said, quote, to a person, they were almost saying that it was over in a way, because every one of them, as they're telling their story, they're looking the defendant right in the eyes. They're not backing down. They came here to say something. And then the judge also said, quote, what I saw with them, they needed to be believed, and they ought to be believed. Whether everyone does, that's maybe for the future. But I believe them. I believe everything they told this court. So the judge agreed to add 30 new charges against Radcliffe. Unfortunately, as I mentioned in the beginning, some had to be dropped because some of the alleged victims didn't appear in court. They, for whatever reason, chose not to appear and provide testimony. So the judge was forced to drop 3 of the charges as this moves on to trial. But Radcliffe is now facing a total of 59 charges. So there's 17 charges of first-degree criminal sexual conduct, 28 counts of child sexually abusive activity, 7 counts of aggravated child sexually abusive activity, and 7 counts of using a computer to commit a crime. And Radcliffe is still in jail. He is still being held until his trial because, as I mentioned previously, he had been, or there's at least evidence showing that he was trying to intimidate and trying to silence some of the alleged victims. So, I mean, amazing, huh? Accused of grooming and assaulting children, and he's not a transgender person. And he's not a drag queen. How is that? It's kind of weird. I mean, in fact, he's a MAGA man. Huh. Who'd have thunk it? Anyway, I don't mean to make jokes. This is not, this is not a laughing matter by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a joke that the right would have you believe that everyone who assaults children is on the left, they're a Democrat, they're, a groomer, transgender person. That's the only reason why they would put themselves through hell and change their genders so that they can assault children, or, it's a drag queen. Anyway, I will keep you guys posted on this horrific case. I will let you know what happens with the whole trial. If convicted, as I've mentioned before, Radcliffe faces life in prison. So, where he belongs, I really believe. Anyway, again, I will keep you in the loop on this. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. If you can donate, really appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.